And we're back. Okay, so now we got to talk about Married to Medicine. We're talking season 9, episode 2. It's called The Beauty Shop. So, of course, this episode is going to be a lot about Dr. Heavenly and Heavenly Beauty. Now, Sky Squad, we are back in the building. Go ahead and let me know where you're watching from in the chatterization, and go ahead and tell me what you would rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay. So for me, let's see. I'm gonna give this episode. This episode really kind of matched the episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta in terms of the score. For me, I'm gonna give it an 8. So let me say this: when I'm measuring Married to Medicine, I'm kind of measuring on a bit of a different scale from a Housewives show, mostly because I honestly just watch Married to Medicine for the pure joy and entertainment of these ladies on our screen. I'm not looking for anything in particular. I am just hoping to have a good time. And typically by the time I finish, making my notes for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I'm a little bit tired anyway. So it's kind of nice to just be able to kind of kick back and just enjoy the shenanigans just a little bit. We still didn't get any resolve to this whole situation between Dr. Contessa and Dr. Heavenly. So I had to take away, like a little bit of a point there. And then I think all of this is building up to some type of heavenly intervention, which is going to happen in the next episode. I did enjoy the fashion show. I enjoyed the humor of this episode. I'm also taking a bit of away some points for this blogging situation that Anila is trying to shove down our throats. And I will tell you why, and I will tell you exactly what I think she should do about it. With that being said, though, I did laugh quite a bit. So there was some joy in this episode, which is why I'm not going to give it a 7. I'm going to keep it at an 8. And I love these ladies in general. So to me, it's always a win-win when they are on our screens. Now, with that being said, we'll start the episode off with Dr. Heavenly. She is at Dr. Jackie's office and she is running late for an emergency. She hasn't gotten her, I guess I can say period. Yeah, she hasn't gotten her period in like 2 months. Yeah, 2 months per my notes. Now, she is clearly in the denial, thinking that she could be pregnant. Okay. And I guess, listen, stranger things have happened. So, it's not beyond the realm of possibility, but is it likely? Probably not. Okay. And so Dr. Jackie says, welcome to the menopause. So before we can get there, though, Dr. Jackie has to take some tests and things like that, has to draw some blood. I can't tell if Dr. Jackie had on gloves or not. Maybe she didn't really need to have on gloves. That was not pointed out by me. It was pointed out by a medical person in who was watching in attendance with me. And then I had to wonder, well, maybe they close friends and close Judy's or whatever like that. So maybe it didn't matter. But I just happened to notice that. Anyway, over to Dr. Contessa's house. Toya arrives in her sky blue Porsche with her kids. Okay. Um, I just want to know, did we ever see Dr. Contessa and Toya make up like for real, for real? I don't really remember that happening, but there was more chaos that dealt with Dr. Contessa and Dr. Scott last season. So maybe it overshadowed my remembrance of that happening, but we've gotten really no clear explanation as to how they reconciled past where they were last season. Again, unless I forgot or I missed it. Chime down if I missed it, because I mean, sometimes I'm only human. Okay. Anyway, did Dr. Contessa call Toya's kids little devils? I don't really. I there was a moment in the scene where Toya said, "Did she just call my kids the devil?" I couldn't understand that. Maybe she did. I don't know. Anyway, Contessa wants to know what's going on with Toya and Anila. And I really want to know what's going on with Contessa and Toya, but whatever. We seem to be at a whole new place, and I guess we just gonna roll with it. So Toya says they're just stuck, and Contessa thinks that maybe they just need a little break, like her and Dr. Heavenly. She needed a break from Dr. Heavenly. But I'm like, did you tell Dr. Heavenly that you needed the break from her? I mean, I guess you did, if based on what we got from Dr. Heavenly during her lives, where she said that Dr. Contessa had done, told her she needed to take some time to work on her marriages and things, marriage. Um, but she feels disrespected by Dr. Heavenly for Dr. Heavenly talking on the internet about her marriage to all of the strangers on the line. And Toya feels like Dr. Heavenly basically has rage and regret. Like she will go off and then she will apologize and then she'll go off and then she will apologize and the cycle will then continue. And then she says that Dr. Heavenly is basically a snake and she got to watch her with all three of your eyes, the two here and the eye right here. Okay. Contessa wants to sit down and have a ponderosa with Dr. Heavenly, but she does not want to do so with all of the ladies involved. But cue the interventions, okay? Because the next thing we see in the next episode is a ponderosa with everyone. I do think that it should have been a conversation that should have been had between Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Contessa in private. If that did not go well, then I think then you take it to the group. But that's just my opinion because it sounds like these two were very close friends at one point. So I feel like in my reality, I would handle that situation specifically with my friend. This is my recipe for solving and resolving issues with your close friends. When they get out of pocket and do something wrong, you invite them to a dinner or a happy hour. Have a little drinky drink, okay? If you drinks. And then you talk about the issue gently, okay? That's how you get it done, all right? Now, here's where we got to get into some things because we head over to Anila's new mansion. It's 7 a.m. and they are at the his and her sink as he's getting ready for work. She's prepping to get the kids ready for school. And she says her blogging is blowing up. Hmm. And she's dedicating 40 to 60 hours a week. She can't even keep up with all the clients that have come her way. And so she is striving for the work and the life balance. So let's just go ahead and break this down, okay? Um, because this is irking my spirits, right? Because I'm not saying that she is not blogging, but I do feel like she is embellishing the extent to which she is blogging and the level that she is at with her blogging career. So let's take exhibit A. We're going to go over to Anila's Instagram and listen, she has a nice, decent amount of, followers and whatnot. And she is on a television show. However, when you go to the links here, click the link tree. We're going to go and click the link tree and we're going to take you to the next page. So the next page is literally, and I'm going to show it to you. The next page is basically her link tree. All right. Now, when you click on the male science link, okay, that takes you to a page that no longer exists. It says Eureka. You found a non-existent page. Okay. If you don't believe me, let me show it to you here. Okay. Um, so we have the non-existent page. All right. Bam. You might be looking for something here. I don't know. So anyway, if you go back, you go to a link for Married to Med. That's an Eventbrite page that ain't nothing there for. Then there's a Fabuletics. Okay. Now there's some Fabuletics stuff there that leads to the Fabuletics page. So maybe she's an affiliate for that. So then it says go to the blog. So let's go to the blog, shall we? Yes, we shall. All right. So when you head over to the blog and you go and you click on the fashion and lifestyle blog, okay? You see the top blog here says Nordstrom Anniversary Sale 2019, okay? So that's an article from what? 3 years ago? Okay? Next thing you go down here, okay? That's from December 17th, 2019, okay? Um it's basically a couple of posts from around the time of November 2018 or maybe June if you click over here to about December of 2019. So I want to know where is all the blogging? Okay. Is because it ain't on YouTube because I've tried to search there. The link, this link don't even pop up. And so I feel like the reason I point this out is because I always dislike when somebody is trying to shovel something down my throat that don't make sense. The math is not mathing when it comes to what we see online. Now, maybe there's some other space where she's in. She also says she had 8,000, followers someplace else. Maybe it was the TikTok. I don't know because I didn't see a link to the TikTok. Okay. And you would think if she was doing the blogging and stuff like that, then she may be having a TikTok. Okay. But ain't no link there. So I can't even tell. And if she is doing a blogging and she does have the TikTok, she's not doing a very good job of marketing herself. The reason this is important to me is because again, it is being thrust down our throats, okay? And if you are working 40 to 60 hours a week, there should be evidence to show for your work, okay? Now, Anila, if you ever happen to watch this, or if anybody who happens to produce on the show watches this, I would suggest that perhaps you follow the um the work of a true fashion blogger, okay? And this is one example that I know of that I follow for quite some time. Her name is Monroe Steele, okay? As you guys can see, there's plenty of posts, plenty of likes, engagements, and things like that. Okay. Which comes into stark contrast to what we see on Anila's page. And I do think that Anila has the power to grow on the platforms, but she needs some help. Okay. And so that is why I am pointing out these things right here. Okay. Um, Again, let me just click on the blogs, okay? Because Monroe still has a blog. So as Anila is steadily talking about the 60 to 40 hours per week that she is working on the blog, one would think we would be able to go to her blog and then see posts that make sense in terms of the timeline and work being done, okay? Now, again, you head over to Monroe Steele's page, you see Fashion Steel NYC. And again, I'm using this as an example of someone who does it and does it well. All of these vlogs are her latest vlogs on the YouTube. I think twice a week. Twice a week now. Okay. So that's where this is blogging to me. So when I see you got all types of things, these are all current things. So when I see her talking about this, this blogging career that's taking up almost 60 hours per week, I don't see not nay bit of evidence of that work. Okay. And so that I'm going to leave right there. I better not hear about this next episode, okay? Unless I see some changes being made. Anila, I have given you an example to follow. Please take my advice. All right. Now, Quad is with her nephew. She gets him up for school. She reflects on having a full house now. They do this little cute little montage of Quad and the family. We learn on as he's on this. I love her nephew. Okay. He is like a little old man, okay, with his own little personality. You know what I'm saying? He country. I love anybody who's from the country, okay? We learned that he does not like to ride that school bus because he got to ride it in the afternoons because the kids be on there yelling like maniacs on that thing. Okay. And he don't like it not one bit. I love it. I love it. This is the perfect. I mean, it's just nice to see Quad in this element, number one. And number two, he's got a ginormous personality similar to Quad. And I think that they just make a nice little dynamic duo. I could even see like a little like spin-off with them, like doing something. I don't know what, but I think it would be entertaining. And I think it could be something good for kids to watch. But mark my words, the two of them, they is a nice little package deal right there. We head down to Dr. Heavenly's Heavenly Beauty Supply Store, and she's preparing for a grand opening. Dr. Simone and Cecil are out to dinner. They meet up with Miles and his girlfriend, and they really like the girlfriend. She seems very nice and like she gets along with the family and whatnot. And we learned that Cecil and Simone are writing a book about relationships. Okay. It's a couples book chronicling their beginnings and their hard times that we have featured on the show. And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, somebody should have called him for that Black Love show that was on. I had seen Candy and Todd them on that show. Meanwhile, back over to Anila's house. It's dinner time, and the nanny is putting the kids to sleep. She's making dinner to butter these folks up to let them know I am moving to Houston. Okay. I don't have time for this. Life is getting on. I want to be with my kids. I got a house there. I got a family there. I got a man there. And I cannot do this anymore. Okay. And Anila is like, oh my God, you cannot do this to us. Oh no. What are we going to do? Am I going to have to raise the kids all on my own? Um, I kid. I don't know their situation. All I know is that she is working 40 to 60 hours a week. Okay. And so I don't know how she even has time to film the show. She is working so much. Okay. There's so much work to be done, so much to do, so many Amazon packages to order with your credit card. Okay. So Anila, is she going to have to quit blogging now? Oh my, oh no. Whatever will they do? Okay. However, will they get more furniture? Oh my God. I have no clue what she's going to do now. I feel the angst, the angst I feel right now for her. I know probably some of y'all think that I'm going hard on this situation. And I know that it is probably detrimental to their family routine to navigate this in the reality of potentially losing a nanny that is living and that takes care of so much of the responsibilities and then try to find another one. I'm not knocking that. I think that it's just the angst and the anxiety and the woe and the you cannot do this to us. You shouldn't be off trying to go live your own life. We're important. We are your family, okay? And I have 60 hours of work to do. I'm tired, okay? I need you here. But anyway, now they're gonna have to figure something out. I don't know what she's gonna do. I hope she don't have to quit, okay? The blogging. So anyway, it's the day of the Heavenly Beauty grand opening. She's invited Dr. Contessa. We see a flashback of she and Contessa on the phone. And, Contessa says, well, girl, I support you in everything you do. Okay. But Dr. Contessa, Simone, and Toya are headed to the event. And Contessa don't really want to stay too long. Toya doesn't think she will stop that Dr. Heavenly will stop dragging anyone on social media until she realizes her friendships are really at stake, which is where I think is going to kind of put the bug in everybody to do this heavenly interventions. Okay. Now the event gets started and it looks lit. Dr. Jacqueline brought her skincare line, Volition, and it's in the store. It's in Neiman's, and now it's in Heavenly's beauty supply store. Anila and Quad roll up. She found some time to stop blogging, and now she's here at the party, ready to walk the runway. And Dr. Heavenly is going to show them how to do that, okay? Everybody in Atlanta is at the event, okay? And in my mind, I'm wondering is how far is Dr. Heavenly's beauty supply store from the Pressed, okay? From Pressed, Atlanta, I go off about Pressed, okay? I just when I went to Atlanta last time, I had to make my way into Pressed, okay? So I'm just curious how close Heavenly Beauty Supply is to Pressed, Rashida store, okay? Anyway, um, everybody there, okay? It's a man there from a funeral home or who owns about 25 funeral homes. He has been set up a contract with Dr. Heavenly to put the wigs on the people after they pass, okay? To make them look sharp in their casket, okay? Casket sharp. Um, and Nikki Natural, who you guys may know from Love and Hip Hop Miami. If you had watched the interview, I think she did an interview with Q, Funky Dineva, and she had let the people know, I think at that time, that she also lived in Atlanta or somewhere. I don't know. She does double duty or some double Dutch. I don't know. But I know she probably is located in the Atlanta area. You should follow her on social media. Anyway, she got a big bouquet of flowers on her head for the fashion show. I wonder if you could purchase those at the Heavenly Beauty Supply store too. Anyway, Toya and Eugene come in wearing their Elorum shirts. Is that a skincare line or is that the wine? I know she's doing something with wines. I know she got some other business endeavors going. Um, and Dr. Contessa is upset that she is not part of the fashion show. And I'm like, now wait a minute. Because even Toya had to say it. Toya was like, girl, you didn't even want to be here. Okay, you're not even in a good space with her. Like back it up, back it up, back it up, and stop. Dr. Heavenly's like, well, why would I invite her to be in the fashion show when I wasn't even sure that she was gonna come? That wouldn't that be too much to try to put on somebody that's mad at you? You know what I'm saying? And I agree with that one wholeheartedly. Cause I'm like, now listen, if I'm mad at you, I won't even want to be in your fashion show. I don't even want to be considered to be in nothing that you doing. I actually probably don't even want to be there if I'm mad at you, to be quite honest with you. But I'm gonna go because I want to get my paycheck for this episode. Okay. Anyway, um, so they getting ready for the fashion show. Dr. Heavenly is dropping it like it's hot. Okay. In her wigs, Toya. As Jack is walking the runway, Toya is convinced that Dr. Jackie's wig is from the hooker line. Anila comes out, taking a break from that 60 hours of work, and sprays hairspray all over the place. I guess she was supposed to be making some fog or something like that. I really don't know what she was doing. But do you know what happens when you spray a floor that is like, you know what I'm saying, like a surface that ain't carpet? If you spraying hairspray like that, it's gonna make the surface wet and slippery. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, ain't nobody else outside of Nikki Natural got to strut down the runway after Anila, because she done made that runway slippery and wet. Okay, but I'm sure she'll blog about it. Whatever. Anyway, Nikki Natural comes out with that bouquet on her head, and finally out comes Alora in her blonde wig, and then out comes the cake, and Toya shades the wigs is cheap. Contessa is still wondering why she wasn't invited to be part of the runway show, and Toya is like, "Girl, why?" Next thing you know, it's picture time, and then it's time to go. We're not gonna get this confrontation with Dr. Heavenly until next week. I'm not sure why they are like drawing this thing out. And honestly, I don't care. I'm just happy the show is back on because this is one of my favorite shows on Bravo anyway. So to me, they could just sit around and do nothing and I'm entertained. Okay. So with that being said, let me know what y'all thought of this episode of Married to Medicine, season 9, episode 2, The Beauty Shop, down in the chatterization down below. Are you excited for next week's Heavenly Confrontation? I'm excited to see it because I think it's going to be super lit. And with that, I will catch you guys in the next video.